Hi, it's Marina the Soul Alchemist. It's time for Pick Your Own Card Weekly Guidance for the 1st through to the 7th of September. Oh my gosh, we are entering into the last quarter of the year. And so I am back from Egypt. And so the cards that I am using have been coded with all of that beautiful energy from that particular space and location. So there's extra magic now being transfused and transmitted when I use these cards. So in case you hadn't realized, I am using the Akashic Oracle card deck, which is a modality in a box because why is it a modality? Because it comes with a free masterclass that you can use for getting you started and also getting you attuned to the cards, and also a pendulum, a key pendulum that you can turn into your tool of choice to do karmic healing, to do activations. But if you don't feel like you want to use a key, then you can use the card itself because there are healing portals and coding within the cards themselves as well that also facilitate shifts of energy. This week, kind of on the back of last week, and for those that are on my email list or maybe kind of following me on social media, I talked somewhat a little bit about karmic contracts being broken whilst I was in Egypt, with my son having appendicitis and needing his appendix to be removed. And looking through my list of topics in terms of where we're up to with the order, because I do have a little bit of a framework for these sessions and the weekly guidance, we are coming to the breaking of karmic patterns. That's the theme for this week. So it's all in alignment where I am continuing with this theme of breaking karmic loops, karmic cycles, karmic patterns. So the card that you picked today from the 3 cards I'm going to show you now, cards 1, 2, or 3, is going to give you the area within your life, within your experience, where that karmic pattern, loop, cycle is showing up. So you can then perhaps hone in, bring greater awareness to that part of your experience where you can maybe see where you're in this repeat pattern. And it might not be something that you're seeing daily. It could be a monthly thing. It could be an every 6-month thing. But this is just going to activate. This is going to help you to maybe bring to the consciousness, bring to the fore of your mind, what is the thing that keeps coming around that I am maybe sick to the back teeth of, and I would like to break it. It might be something that is going on a daily basis. Who knows? But I'm going to highlight, or my guides and my team are going to highlight for you through these cards, through the Akashic cards, through the Akashic records, where that karmic loop is. The bonus card is how. It's your how on how to start to break that pattern. So let's dive in. I've actually picked card 2 as my main theme and focus, and it is one of my favorite cards of the deck. It's not the favorite card. For those that do know, it's, oh my God, I can't get my fingers right. It's, no, this one. That's the favorite card of the deck. It's not that one. Okay, so if you have picked card 1 as your main focus for this karmic pattern breaking theme and week, it is past lives. So clearly this could be something that is looping from a past life. But what I was really drawn to with this particular card is the clock, is this thing around time. So what I'm kind of feeling for those that have picked card 1 as the main focus, and I would invite you to listen to all messages because you're going to get a the full breadth of the wisdom that's coming through. And you also might find that there is a part of a message from another card that pings, it just activates something, twinges something, and then that's just showing you, that's your physical body showing you that there's something here that's important to listen to. So for me, this is around time. Not feeling that you have enough time, feeling that time is slipping away. For some of us, it can be that there's a massive amount of time and time is going too slowly. But I think most of us are probably not finding that at the moment. I think most of us will find that what has happened to time itself as a construct. It seems to have gone a little bit wonky. But some of us may be using age as almost like a weapon to not go ahead and do something. I'm too old for this. This is not going to happen for me because of my age. I don't have enough experience. I'm too old to start. Whatever I feel, for me, there's time, there's age, not having enough time to be able to complete or start something or to get involved. We're using time in some kind of way to keep us stuck. That's the karmic pattern, that limiting belief, that story around time. So I really want you to look at where you use time. And it's really interesting when you bring awareness to your language, how much time, the concept of it, the wording creeps into our everyday language and we don't even realize. So that's a first little kind of like invitation for you this week. How much do you bring time into your everyday conversations and not even realize? Because we can definitely use it as a block, as a limiter to us progressing, expanding, doing the things that we want to do or try. We can use this construct, this concept, as a way of keeping us safe, creating resistance, and constricting us, confining us. So that's the first thing, is to notice where you're using that as a way to, keep yourself small, keep yourself stuck, keep yourself in a loop that doesn't serve you. So if you've picked card 1, time is your karmic loop. I want you to kind of reflect and start to notice where you are using that in your language, in your perspectives, in your beliefs, in your stories, in your feelings around that, and is it true? Is it actually true? Or are you using it as a way to stay safe? And how can you challenge that? How can you challenge that? We can bend time, we can expand time, but don't use it as a way to put you off you elevating your experience in a greater way. Okay, so that's card 1's message. If you've listened to card 1, then I invite you to listen to cards 2, card 3, and the bonus card, which is giving you your action, your how to break those karmic loops. Now, if you've picked card 2 as your main focus, as I have, then the karmic loop, the pattern that we have going on here that's available to be broken, to be disrupted, is gratitude practice. And now what I really felt into this card was around worth around receiving, worth around being able to receive it all, or to receive more even. So it was definitely about value and worth. And are we still running a karmic loop, a karmic pattern, a story around us not being worthy enough, of value enough, to be able to just stand out in nature or wherever we choose to be and receive without doing? Receive by being ourselves, not being anything else that people expect us to be. Us being and showing up as we want to, fully owning that, and opening our arms up to receive. And this receiving obviously can be abundance. This particular card is a 33. It sits within the wealth chamber of the cards, which is denoted by gold on the card. So it is money, it is abundant, prosperity related. But as we know, receiving can be support, it can be love, it can be ideas and inspiration, it can be freedom, it can be peace, It can be all sorts of things. But do we feel worthy of that without having to work hard, without having to overcompensate, without having to give up something else in order to receive? So, what karmic pattern have you got going on there? So, there may be in those last few examples something that's just like, hang on a minute. Do I always compensate? Do I always try and make up or do something first in order to then feel comfortable in receiving? Am I able to just receive for receiving's sake? Or do I always feel like I have to give an exchange of some kind? Does that feel comfortable or do I feel guilty? Do I feel there's a sense of shame there? Awkwardness. What makes you feel awkward about receiving? What's the awkwardness part of that? Because that's going to give you information around what karmic loop, pattern, or cycle is still running here. And awareness helps to break that first step, that first chain. It starts to break it. Awareness is really beautiful in being able to do that. Once we start to break the chain, once we start to break the pattern, then we can allow new awareness, light, healing, whatever needs to come in to then really start to dissolve that. So, gratitude practice is the card, but this is about self-worth, it's about value, it's about receiving. And where do you struggle with that? Because that's the pattern that needs to be broken. That's what you can start to work on this week. Let me know how these cards are resonating. I would love to hear. We are now going on to card 3, but if you've not listened to cards 1 and 2, my invitation is for you to listen to both of those because you are going to probably pick up something else from all of the cards when you get the whole rich depth of the message. Okay, so this final card, probably a lot are going to resonate with this, even if you've not picked card 3 as your main card. Karmic pattern, loop that is ready to be broken. It's all about your boundaries. It's all about your energy. It's about being able to put those boundaries in, communicate them, uphold them in a really beautiful, loving, and impactful way so that you feel that you're getting the space and time and energy that you need to ensure that firstly, that your energy is pristine and feels clean, doesn't feel heavy, it feels light. You have time and space to think and breathe and do those things that you want to do. But also when we are in maybe more challenging relationships, that there is still this sense of feeling empowered within that. And that comes from boundaries. When we overstep the mark with our own boundaries, we allow other people to step the mark with our boundaries, or we have no boundaries in place, we can start to get quite resentful. We can start to really feel annoyed and frustrated. And sometimes we may not know why that is, but usually it's because a boundary has been broken or stretched. And quite often it might be because we're not aware of what the boundary actually is. And maybe we need to actually go back and reflect on what is the boundary around my time? What is the boundary around my personal space, personal hobbies, my workplace and work time, business hours and things like that with clients and when they can contact me and when they can't? Do I have actual written and spoken boundaries about that? Do I communicate them? When we're putting boundaries in place, it can feel really challenging. It can feel uncomfortable. But once we've communicated those boundaries a couple of times, actually, we then start to really own it. And it doesn't seem such a big thing. And people start to respect the boundary. But what we also do when we have boundaries in place for ourselves, we give permission to other people to also put boundaries in for themselves as well. Because it's then like, oh, well, this is okay to have a boundary, rather than nobody having any boundaries. And it's a bit like a kind of like a free for all. And that's when relationships can get strained. We can personally not feel like we get any alone time or space where we need to reset, which is what she's doing here. And that can then make us feel quite tired and drained. So it's important that everybody has their boundaries and everybody understands what their boundaries are. And that's the thing that sometimes we just have to keep going back to, because they can change. They're allowed to change because we change. So karmic pattern, karmic loop that needs to be looked at this week is, where are there no boundaries, or where do the boundaries need to be maybe reset and communicated? And if you find that hard, then that's the karmic loop that is ready to be released. So strengthening boundaries, really kind of owning your energy and making sure that you're allowing space for your own time, your own energy, your own space to be able to be. So again, let me know how these cards are resonating. This is the karmic pattern breaker, loop, breaker, theme, and week. And so the final card is the how. How do we do this? How do we go around breaking these patterns? As I've already mentioned, awareness is really key to start to just reflect and ask these poignant questions around each of the themes that I've shared, and the one that's relevant for you, or ones that are relevant for you if you pick more than one card. And just asking yourself the questions of, how am I doing this? How is this showing up in my life? What would life look like, or how would I feel it would look like if I didn't have that sense of commitment or duty, or whatever it is, the story that we're telling ourselves that keeps the karmic pattern in place? What's on the other side of that? So really tune into that as well, because sometimes that can actually give us the inspiration and the motivation to break the pattern faster. But how do we do this? This is additional information. It's alchemy and magic. So I've said about bringing awareness, so bringing consciousness to how these patterns are showing up. And this may not be something visible that you're actually seeing. It's a sense, you're feeling it. And she's blindfolded here. It's alchemy and magic. So this is all about the sensory part of the how do we break this? So it is going to be a feeling, it is going to be a sense of really kind of tune into what the karmic pattern is, and how do you feel that you're able to break that? Feeling and tuning into what's on the other side of that. So as I've already said, it gives you that motivation, it gives you that inspiration to actually do something about it this time. It's also recognizing that some of the practical action is potentially going to be something that you can't see. So it potentially can be the alchemy. It can be using your intuition to take that next step, understand, follow the breadcrumbs. It could be calling in that support to help you create the activation, the alchemy and the magic to help break the pattern. So there's the energetic piece here, the root cause that could be in a past life, that is there ready to be rooted out, ready to be transformed, transmuted, so that that pattern is energetically broken. And then that helps you step out of the loop, helps you step out of the story that perhaps is still there. Maybe bringing healing to the story if it's relevant for this lifetime, inner child healing, whatever it might be. So then there's peace that's brought to that particular experience. And then the pattern doesn't need to exist because it's been broken. So what alchemy and magic, whether you do your own alchemy and magic, whether you speak to somebody, I will post or tag a meditation that's going to help you with breaking the karmic patterns here. I will put that in the comments below as well. So that's an energetic healing meditation that you can listen to. That's you taking on board practical action in activating alchemy and magic to support that. But the key thing also here is to trust your gut. Tune into your intuition on how you feel you can step out of that pattern? What choice do you need to make? What conversation do you need to have around the theme of the card that you've picked? And trust that intuition. This is what this is about. It's sensory, it's intuition in terms of how you break this pattern. So it may not feel logical. You may be called to go and do like a moon release, and it's not a full moon or a new moon over this next week, but you may be called to go and do some lunar work and write your intentions and just burn it. Follow your gut, follow your intuition with this. It might be that you're called to it with certain crystals or essences. Trust that that is part of the process of breaking the karmic pattern. For some of you, you may want to create a sigil around it. Maybe go and listen to a particular podcast. For some of you, you may want to go and dance it out, move the body, move the energy, move the story that you have created or bought into that's keeping that karmic loop alive. And it's sometimes not going to make sense, which is what this alchemy and magic card is all about. It's trusting what you are being given by your guides, by your intuition, by your higher self, and by the body. So let me know how these cards are resonating. It's a powerful week. I would love to hear. Also, with it being the last day, it's the Sunday. If you're listening to this on the Sunday, on the actual day, it is the last day of my summer sale. The Akashic Oracle card deck actually is part of that summer sale package. There's three offers, a masterclass bundle where you can get more than £8,000 worth of value from 28 Akashic masterclasses, which are really powerful, really potent, and you can get that for £111. There is my Akashic alignment property clearing, which is a remote session with a report and a clearing of your properties Akashic records, because they do have their own records. That's really good for cleansing your environment, especially if you work from home. It's a really good way to reset you and your business, the relationships, the occupants of the home. It's just a beautiful way to kind of reset the home and the land. The Akashic Oracle card offer is you get a free month in my dedicated membership. So I do have the Akashic Magic Circle, which is a dedicated training membership for those that have my Oracle card deck. You get a free month, which is worth £4.99. And that 3 month will be in October. So you've got plenty of time to get your cards, get kind of using the cards, watch the initial masterclass, which you get free with the cards anyway. And then you can step into the circle in October, which of course is the Samhain, the witch's new year. So it's a perfect time to come into the magic circle. You get that completely free, October. So you've only got till Sunday midnight UK time to get that offer or any of the other two offers as well. I will also pop the link in the comments below so you can have a little look at that, or you can reach out to me and I will send you the link as well. Okay, so have a beautiful week. 1st to the 7th of September. That's what we've just covered. Let me know how this is all landing. Love and blessings, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.